If horror is your favorite genre, then these top 10 scary videos are straight up bussin'. Number 10. Caught on Zoom. Zoom has served this past year well. From remote meetings to virtual classes, the video conferencing app has allowed its users to stay productive during a lost year. In this case, it even saved a student in Ecuador who faced intruders while on a Zoom call. Published in September of 2020, 4 men broke into a female student's home during a live Zoom class, only to end up in cuffs shortly after. The terrifying incident was entirely caught on camera. The woman is seen in the video turning around to witness the strangers in her home. She jumps out of her chair and is backed into a corner. Having not noticed, the professor continues speaking, but fellow students call his attention to what's happening. They attempt to keep the girl and another family member in the home quiet, but then realize their crime is being witnessed in real time. This is when the laptop screen is turned down and freezes. The professor and the students quickly jump into action, calling the police. In the meantime, the intruders manage to make off with $4,000 in cash, among other possessions. However, the thieves were thwarted by technology a second time, when police tracked them down using the location on the cell phones they took. While Zoom wasn't designed as a security app, this is one instance where it serves such a purpose, and there are bound to be many more. Number 9. The Mysterious Shadow. This event, captured by a CCTV camera, shows the last known footage of a flight attendant, published to YouTube in January of 2021. Christine was spending New Year's Eve with her friends and co-workers at City Garden Grand Hotel in the Philippines. Throughout the night, she appears to be enjoying herself with several friends in the CCTV footage, but was found the next day in a bathtub and had passed away. Those in the video have since been cleared, but police suspect foul play. In their initial investigation, they believed others were involved in Christine's passing. Unfortunately, Makati's prosecutor's office dismissed the case in April of 2021, quoting lack of evidence, though 11 persons of interest had been under investigation. The last known footage of Christine shows her being carried through the hotel. That's when an eerie shadow falls in the hallway across the floor, in a spot close to a door that she had been seen entering several times throughout the night. What or who is casting this shadow? It might very well hold the answer to if foul play was involved. After all, the proof is in the details. Number 8. Leaked footage. This is Pentagon-confirmed US Navy footage from 2019. In the footage, unidentified flying objects shaped like spheres are seen plunging into the water off the coast of San Diego. Published by Jeremy Corbell in May of 2021, the CIC, or Combat Information Center, of the USS Omaha caught the unidentified flying objects on July 15th. The dark object can be seen flying across the sky near the ship with a sudden about-face towards the water, known as a UAP, or Unidentified Aerial Phenomena event. The climatic moment occurs when one of the UFOs dives straight into the ocean. Even more mysteriously, neither the aircraft nor any wreckage was discovered. The long cylindrical object was reported by American Airlines pilots as well, which saw it fly over their plane. Such sightings aren't out of the ordinary, as pilots have been reporting similar aerial phenomena for decades. Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, Chris Mellon, confirmed the continuity of these events and said we haven't been paying enough attention to these recurring UAP. Today.com quotes Mellon as saying, "What we are seeing are a number of distinct different things. Sometimes we're seeing a 50-foot object that can travel at hypersonic speeds and seemingly go into orbit or come down from altitudes above potentially 100,000 feet. Documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell agrees with this, stating that whether this UFO is worldly or otherworldly, it's just part of a much larger series of events. But will us common folk ever know the details of this larger series of events? A government task force has been reviewing this footage and will report its findings to Congress, but I'm doubtful that we'll ever see that report." Number 7. Light and sound. If you hear this sound, run for cover. Rays of light shine upward in this video, published to Paranormal World in December of 2020. But that's not the only oddity in this clip. Turn the sound on full volume and you'll be blasted into the midst of a prehistoric jungle. The light then turns into what looks to be a winged figure, and the sound becomes more symphonic. The creature forms a sphere before its wings reappear, perhaps preparing for takeoff. The man filming takes this as his cue to leave, but judging with a creature like this, he can run but he can't hide. Number 6, secret room. Discovering a hidden room in your home always begs the question, what was it used for? Posted to TikTok by AbbyMaya14. This TikToker found an entire hidden basement in her storage cupboard. While it's not unusual for a home to have some sort of crawl space beneath it, this one is particularly creepy because it looks lived in. After tearing up the floor, the homeowner discovered wooden steps leading down to a full-on basement. Not only can you stand fully upright in this hidden subterranean room, it appears as though someone once called this space home. A poster is plastered to the wall and it looks as though it's been clawed to pieces. There are benches in one corner and what appears to be a hearth. So again, this begs the question, what was this room used for? Some in the comments of the video have speculated that this might be an air raid shelter. Others say perhaps someone was squatting down there. It's probably best to climb up out of there, cover it over with a rug, and throw away the key. Number 5, playtime. There's nothing wrong with an imaginary friend, but when these friends turn evil, playtime is over. Published by Breakman in March of 2021. This video has been making the rounds in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community for good reason. The video shows a girl playing alone, or at least she first appears to be. With her doll lying beside her, the girl is reading a book. Whoever she's reading with keeps turning the page. The invisible hand seems not to bother the girl initially, as she just flips the page back and keeps on reading, but then she clearly gets frustrated with her imaginary friend's impatience and cries out about it. There also appears at times to be something peeking around the corner behind her, something with a white face. Is this imaginary friend actually a ghost that resides in the home, or is it something far more sinister? Number 4, nuclear bunker. Exploring an abandoned, secret nuclear bunker designed for NATO headquarters? What could go wrong? That's what the crew from YouTube channel Broken Window Theory did in November of 2020. The team explains a bit about the video, writing, "In the belly of a mountain, we found this secret NATO bunker at an undisclosed location, hard to find, and even harder to enter. Naturally, the team considers it the ideal place to get trapped, as they dive right into the belly of the beast." The bunker is located in southern Italy. They arrive at the entrance, an unobtrusive cement block which they pull up to reveal the tunnel that they climb down into. The secret bunker was dug right into the side of the mountain and stretches several kilometers. As they walk deeper and deeper into the mountain, it gets colder by the minute. 200 or 300 people were stationed here in the darkness when it was active. Now, only moldy furniture and rusted pipes remain. They arrive at the fallout door, which looks creepy and foreboding in and of itself. Later, they come across a control room, as well as lists of aircraft and maps still pinned to the walls. When they come to the water reservoir, they toss a few rocks in to test the echo, which seems never ending. The echo sounds even more ominous a few moments later, almost like someone singing. After exploring a bit further, they finally climb out of the bunker and back into the 21st century. Although this bunker is a pretty epic urban exploration, it's lucky it was never made necessary, otherwise the 21st century may not exist. Number 3. Haunted house for sale. Warning, do not buy a haunted house off the dark web at 3 a.m. At least, that's what YouTuber Gesture warns, as he and his crew did just that and lived to regret it. Published to YouTube in April of 2021, before they bought the house, they visited it. When they arrived in the middle of the night, the door was already wide open. A sign taped to the door read, "We will be back shortly, feel free to look around." Gesture says they felt a connection to this house, discovered it was for sale, and bought it to renovate it. And during these renovations, this happened. Zoom in on the window. What is that? Is there a figure standing outside looking in, or inside being reflected? And if so, why can't we see the figure inside the house? This isn't the only creepy occurrence that happened during their renovation. During a tour of the space, the crew enters a dimly lit back room. In a dark corner, something is shuffling. You can see just a tiny flicker of white rocking back and forth in the corner before the figure starts shuffling faster towards them, prompting the crew to dive out of the room. While the renovation looks great and all, how can they live in the haunted house after this? They should probably listen to YouTuber Hype Mike in the comments, who writes, "We need to lock that door forever." And I couldn't agree more. Number 2. Sounds from the woods. While most of the scary clips from the woods could potentially be wild animals, this one's a head scratcher. Published to YouTube by Ian Black in September of 2020. This isn't the shriek of a mountain lion or some other wild cat. This is next level terrifying. The roar echoes through the calm woods as though you're at the bottom of a well. While at first it may sound puzzling, the mystery is solved when the cameraman tells his dog, "We've missed the train."
We missed the train, Mo. We missed it.
But without such context, what would you feel if you were blasted with this off-putting roar during your nature walk? I guess lesson learned, stay away from the Trap 6 restaurant. In November of 2020, the day after Halloween, sooner paranormal investigators visited a family-owned restaurant in Oklahoma to capture ghostly activity, and they weren't disappointed. The team placed cameras throughout the Route 66 restaurant overnight. When they checked them the next day, they found a ghostly reign of horror had occurred in their absence. The lights in the restaurant went berserk, flickering on and off. Moreover, several orbs were seen in the footage of the back room, with a strange growl heard after one particular orb floated in front of the camera. They also captured voices saying things like, "We're dead and I told you not to whisper." The names Ethel and Duke were also mentioned in the EVPs. Are Ethel and Duke still dining at this restaurant? Maybe